Hello, everybody. Welcome back to... Is the microphone not working? Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to Amateur Hour Sports. We are here for your Tuesday off-season stream, August 13th. Happy to be here with you guys today, breaking down some of the latest from the NBA off-season. But, you know, it's not much going on in the early stage of August. So a few things planned for today's stream. Couple of tier lists. First of all, as it says in the title, going to be grading every Raptors contract that they are currently on the hook for at least the summer, if not the season. But all the contracts the Raptors are currently paying, we're going to be ranking all 19 of them because there's 2 roster spots remaining for training camp that have yet to be fulfilled. We'll also be going through every starting point guard in the NBA, ranking those. We'll talk a little bit about some Raptors positional needs, at least from an article that I saw, and whatever else is in the update from the offseason. Along the way, any questions from you guys that you have, any discussion topics that you have, you can also feel free to let me know, and we will do our best to get to everything. And we pretty much always will get to everything that you have for the stream. So put any questions in the chat. Got to be subscribed for 60 seconds to participate in the live chat. I know it's I drive a hard bargain, but if you're going to support the content, best way to do it, simply just to watch. But if you do enjoy along the way, make sure to hit the like button. And again, to get involved with the chat, make sure you are subscribed to Amateur Hour Sports, and I'll reward you with videos, usually 3 times a week, streams usually twice a week. This week, I'm going to be going on vacation on Thursday. I'm going to be away from Thursday to Sunday. So no Thursday stream, no Friday video this week. Usually, I would record stuff in advance, so there's still content going on while I'm away. But honestly, there's just like nothing is happening right now for the Raptors. That, you know, when I'm home, yeah, I'm gonna push myself to find something to talk about, and I have been, and it's going fine as I always do. But yeah, as far as preparing in advance for this one, I don't think that's going to happen. So no content coming at you for the Friday video. We'll be back to normal probably on Monday. Hopefully, I'm feeling fine after the vacay. But hope y'all are doing extremely well here. Appreciate you coming through. We got Jazeer. I don't know which that is, but welcome. We got Stream OG and a member, Doug B, joining us. Thank you so much. We've got Scotty Barnes in chat. Look at this. Scotty Barnes in the house. I thought Scotty Barnes was on vacation. You think he's in Spain? I don't know. Watching from Spain if he is on vacation. We got Reed Wensky as well over here. Yeah, August is typically one of the drier periods, or the driest period, but it's like even more dry than normal. Because like, what do we have? 3 years ago, Jay Easer. Whatever it is. Jay Easer. Thank you for coming through. Yes, Jay Easer. The phonetic spelling is great. So 3 summers ago, the Raptors had drafted Scotty Barnes, and like, honestly, like the Raptors community on YouTube could not get enough of the Scotty Barnes videos. Like Scotty Barnes, anything was doing well. 2 summers ago, Kevin Durant was linked to the Raptors all offseason, so that was the big ticket thing to discuss in videos. There was always something revolving around Kevin Durant. Last year, there was a constant threat of a trade for Siakam, for Anunoby, and Damian Lillard becoming available for trade. All of that stuff was going on. As far as this summer, there's really no big storyline that is compelling Raptors fans. But I'm still putting out videos, still enjoying doing it, and there's still thousands of views on all the videos. So thank you guys for that. Zach in the chat asked, thoughts on the Raptors post on Instagram showing the purple jersey? Yeah, this is another tease here. And they've actually recently posted this jersey a couple of times, which is another sort of indication that a full-scale rebrand is unlikely. So the post in question is this here. Raptors, their NBA Cup schedule. They got a group with Milwaukee, Miami, Indiana, and Detroit. Yeah, not great. Not a great group. That's a difficult group, but this is what it is. But the key is Vince Carter's jersey creeping through here. Very good graphic, by the way, to have that creeping through there. And what's notable is that for a lot of the NBA Cup games, well, for the NBA Cup, you have the special floor, right, for the Cup. So the Raptors will likely have, judging by this graphic, and look, the Raptor here, judging by this, I'm going to assume they're going to have the purple court going on. But they posted this jersey a couple of times recently. I'm going to try to find it. Yeah, they posted it here, Vince Carter, and they posted it here with Hakeem Olajuwon. So it looks like this jersey is going to be making a return this year. That's my guess. It looks like it's going to be, or at least that's the inspiration for the City Connect jersey this year. But as far as a full-scale rebrand, I mean, it's August 13th. That seems very unlikely to be on the cards, but I think what we're going to get is basically the same jerseys that we've been had. And City Connect jersey for this year is going to be either that one or the inspiration taken from that one. That's what it is. Reed Wednesday says, turn the mic up. Okay. Oh. Let's try that. That should be better. If still not loud enough, let me know. But I think that should be plenty loud at this point. Thoughts on, sorry, I saw that. If you have Paolo, Scotty, and Cooper Flag in your draft class, and you had the number 1 pick, who are you picking? Ooh, well, tough question at this point. Trying to think. Well, Cooper Flag, there's just not enough information. Not enough information on Cooper Flag. So I did a redraft of the last 5 years, and I had Paolo Banchero ahead of Barnes. So I guess that's my answer there. But for Cooper Flag, I think it could become apparent that he would be the number 1 guy there eventually, but can't really say that about a guy who has no NBA experience as of yet. But that's an interesting question. The group, I'm thinking Milwaukee's good, Indiana's good. I guess my thought was how many teams are better than us, but there's a lot of NBA teams that are better than us, so there aren't many that could have been worse than us that could have been in the group. I guess that group could have been worse, thinking about it. Yeah, that was a humbling comment right there. It is kind of easy. We're just bad. We're one of the easy teams. We're the team that people want to have in their group. Ah, nice. We got the Raptors. Sweet. That's what other teams are thinking. Yeah, that is a shame. But it's unfortunately who we are at this present point. And who we are. Let's get into our first little segment here. I want to go through every contract the Raptors had. So, as of right now, the Toronto Raptors have 19 players on contract heading into training camp. They have 2 extra roster spots remaining if they choose to use them, but right now they have 19 players on the books on contract. I'm going to rank every single one of them, see which ones are the best, see which ones are the worst. And this includes everyone, like the two-way guys, Exhibit 10 guys. This is the people who are on contract heading into training camp. So we have 5 different tiers to choose from. And it just deleted the tiers that I had set up for the stream. Awesome. And deleted the files. Okay. Well, I previewed it so well. I set it up so well. And now, one sec. Let me put it back together. Thankfully, I didn't delete any of these files. All right. So let's build it on the fly. So all 19 players there. So we have the Steel. We have the Great. Great would be Steel, I guess. Good. Neutral. Bad. And negative. I think that's what I had. Negative value. So I actually don't like how the colors are. Let's make this vibrant purple. Good is green. neutral, yellow, bad, orange, negative value is red. So here we go. Starting in just no particular order. I guess we're going to go off the order that we have down here. The order makes it less fun. Let's save Bruce Brown for later. Let's save Boucher a little bit later. Starting off with Bruno Fernando. Bruno Fernando coming in on a training camp deal specifically. And I think that this is pretty close to a steal. I mean, the Bruno Fernando situation is great. I talked about it in a video on the main channel. And I said that, look, Bruno Fernando's contract situation is, if he makes the Raptors opening day roster, it's fully guaranteed for the year's contract. If he doesn't make the Raptors opening day roster, the Raptors are guaranteed him nothing at that present point. He's getting paid throughout training camp. If we want to keep him, great. We keep him, we pay him. Makes sense to me. If we don't want to keep him, we don't owe him any money. My thought process that I said in the video was that I believe if Christian Koloko does come back, and it's looking like he will come back ahead of the season, and then he chooses the Raptors to sign for, that's what the Raptors are waiting for, and in that case, they'll cut Bruno Fernando. But for now, like, there's literally nothing wrong with this contract. Everything is great about the deal. Steal might be slightly a strong word, but it's nice to have him in that position. Next up is Brandon Carlson on a two-way contract. Yeah, an undrafted free agent. Not much to say there. 25-year-old rookie. He's a center who showed a bit more athleticism than I thought he had in Summer League, but he can space the floor. And I think that there's some potential utility for him in the NBA this season for the Raptors. But it's a two-way deal. It's fine. You know, not much else to say about it. For David Mitchell, he's still on his rookie scale contract. He's in the final year, of that rookie scale contract. So for him, I'm just going to confirm the exact amount right now. The one thing I don't like about it, so obviously the contract at this point, from a value perspective, a former 9th overall pick with the Sacramento Kings, it's going to be cheap. What is he, probably making $7 million this year? Yeah, it's cheap. It's good, but in terms of the contract situation, $6.5 million, we're in a good spot. It's not great above that because the Raptors have to pay him at the end of the season, and that's probably something that was in the minds of the Sacramento Kings when they traded him. They don't have to pay him now at the end of the season. The Raptors are on the hook for that. I don't think he commands a huge contract. I guess we'll see how he performs this season, but I think that he's on $6.5 million. That's a backup point guard. I think that's pretty good. I'll put him in the good tier. Next up, DJ Carton. Similar to Brandon Carlson on a two-way deal. I think this is neutral. Yeah, we're going to get a better look at DJ Carton. He showed flashes in like the one game he played for the Raptors last year, but this is all we got to go off of. So I'm excited to see what he can potentially do for the Raptors in the upcoming season. Hopefully he's finally healthy, but I'm just looking forward to seeing him in preseason to see if there's any potential there. And if there isn't, like, we're fine. It's only a two-way deal. No problem whatsoever. Let's move into the next player that we have on the list, Garrett Temple. I've had my reservations over the deal because it's taking up a roster spot, but it's not like we really need to use that roster spot in anybody else. We have 2 empty spots we're not using. It's fine. Temple is here basically to be the veteran presence for the team. He seems to resonate really well with the younger players. They seem to like to have him here. So really no problem having him on. I think it's $3.5-ish million. We're all good there. Garrett Temple, I've come around a little bit on his presence on the team. Next up is Grady Dick. It's good. Second year of his rookie contract. Nothing to be upset about at this point. He's making fine money. Only expecting improvements this season. I got to be happy with that current situation. Manuel Quickley is where we really have to start to discuss it here. So initially it was reported that Emmanuel Quickley was on a contract worth $35 million per year. I'm not sure I would go as far as to call that bad. In fact, I don't think I would go as far as to call that a bad contract, but definitely not a bad contract after the update was made where he's now making $32.5 million per year. That's his number, $32.5 million. I think that's fair for him, given the market that was out there. I'm neutral on it. I think good would have been less than $30 million, but this is fine. Yeah, it's what he's worth. I'm very, very happy that he's still a Raptor. He's still on the team. That figure, I can't go as far as to call it good, but he's a great player. It's great that we have him, but the value, yeah, it's fine. It's neutral. They paid him what he deserved, right? It's a fair contract. Maybe that's more of the better term here. Fair. Man, quickie, fair value. Chris Boucher is where we creep into, we got to be pretty close to negative value here. For the certain circumstance where the Raptors don't use him, I don't think there's plans to really use him this year. And the problem is he's making $10.8 million. Like, that's a decent chunk. And the issue is, like the Raptors have clearly seriously struggled to trade the contract. Like, it's seriously a problem trading that contract. If it wasn't, they would have traded him by now. Because I think there's teams out there who could use him. But the fact that he has not been able to be used in a trade means that it's really a negative right now for the Raptors to have him. I agree that that's a little bit harsh, but he is right now a negative asset towards the team, partially because of Darko's non-use of him, which I'm not complaining about, to be honest, and just the value. It's not even that much, but it is hurting the team having that contract right now, as unfortunate and as harsh as that is towards Chris Boucher himself. Jakob Poeltl, $20 million a year. It's fair. For a starting caliber center in the NBA who is a great defender, protects the rim really well, can certainly do his job on offense, good screen setter. Plenty to like about Jakob Poeltl's contract at its current figure. It's actually $19.5 million. I think that's about as fair as it gets for a player like him. Next up is Jamal Shed. Got a guaranteed contract, which he was hunting for. And because he's a 45th pick, it's maybe a little bit less than he would have gotten higher up in the draft, but it's fair. There's going to be a lot of fair here. It's not going to be a well-balanced tier list. That's fine. It's fair for Jamal Shed for what he is. He's making less than $2 million, I think, this season. I think it's 1.8. Once again, completely fair. Jacoby Walter, first-round pick, got his first-round pick contract. Another one. It's fair. Like, you're literally guaranteed a certain amount of money based on your draft position. That is the definition of a fair contract. Jamison Battle, coming off of a decent summer league with the Raptors, got rewarded with an Exhibit 10 deal. If you don't know what Exhibit 10 contract is, in short, it's a bonus incentive for when you're cut from your summer training camp team. You get a bonus for signing with their G League affiliate. So essentially, it's a boosted G League contract, but you get to work with the NBA guys in the summer. Another one that's basically writes itself. It's a completely fair contract for him to be on. Same can be said for the 31st overall pick, Jonathan Mobo. Now we have a conversation. We have the Bruce Brown contract. Obviously, it's not fair. It's not good. It's too much for what the player he is. Knew that when he signed it. But there's still an opportunity for the Raptors to trade him. And I think that they eventually will have a chance to trade him. Going through the potentials around Boucher, I don't think the Raptors can trade him. And I think he'll be here all year. I think that the Raptors can trade Bruce Brown, which is why I'm going to put him in the bad tier. Because I don't think it's an untradeable contract. And I think he provides value because he's a player that's going to be utilized, especially at the start of the season for the Raptors. And I think they can get potentially a first-round pick out of trading him. So, Bruce Brown, I'm not going to go as bad as Boucher, but it's definitely not fair for what the player is. Kelly Olynyk is a curious one. He signed for more than I wanted him to sign for. If the Olympic performance was an indication, we're down here. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to keep him as a fair right now, making around $12, $13 million for 2 years. If he comes out the gates and looks as washed as he did in the Olympics, we got a problem. But I'm not ready to cross that bridge just yet. Abaji, now, people have been upset with Abaji heading into the season, and I'd say rightfully so. He had a rough summer league. He's a third-year player former lottery pick. He had a rough summer league, but still time. Only making $4.3 million, and there's a team option at the end of the season worth $6.3 million. It's fine. There's no problem. Some of these buns. I might have to agree, but the contract situation is no problem. Not crippling at all. We got a team option at the end of the season. I have no real complaints over the contract figure associated with him. $4 million is going to be fine. 6.5 next year would also be fine. I have to put him in the fair tier. Just getting confirmation here. Here is the RJ Barrett contract situation, which has been maligned in the past. It's been criticized in the past. This is what it gives us. It's $25.7 million this year, $27.7 next year, $29.6 the year after that. When the Raptors acquired him, I would have comfortably put him in the bad tier. At this point, I'm ready to say it's fair. If he performs like he did last season with the Raptors, that's a good contract. I need to see those incredible levels of performance for a longer period of time. I know we had we still had a decent sample. I'll give you that. You know, there was quite a bit to like about RJ Barrett. But like I said, he showed up with a bad contract. He made it look way better. But I'm not prepared as of yet to take these numbers. I get it. 32 games played with these incredible levels of efficiency, incredible scoring output. I'm not quite there to say it's a good contract. If he does this to start the season, like he was at the Olympics performing like this, we're going to move that up into the good category, which I was not expecting to do at any point, but that's where we are. Next up, Scotty Barnes. I can't call it a steal, but it's like it's better than good. It's great. What's great is let's just put it steal. Let's do it. What's great about Scotty Barnes is that even though he's making the max, and he's literally like, it could not have been any worse for us because it was literally the maximum amount of money. Scotty Barnes, who we have a lot of faith in as a player to continue to grow and continue to develop, is under contract with the Raptors for 6 more years. The Raptors have control of where he plays basketball for at least 6 years. That is a major win in my book. Your future is sorted. He's completely committed to the Raptors. That's enough for me to say it's better than good. I'll put him into this steal category. It's more like great, this category, but for a little bit of fun, we're going to call it steal. It's a steal even though it's a max. That's how good our boy is at basketball. That's what I'm trying to say. Final contract, Ulrich Shamshay. Surprisingly, a second-round pick here signed on a 2-way contract. That is not what you normally see out of a second-round player, but that's fine. I'm looking forward to potentially see him get some NBA minutes this season because I was really impressed in Summer League. So that's where we end up. Ulrich Shamshay goes into our fair category. So, yeah, a lot of fine contracts. Only 2 contracts on the team, which are not great. Both of them expire at the end of the year. So, contractually, Toronto in a pretty good situation right now. Not many complaints to have. And even like the Boucher one, I don't want to be, I said, like, I know it's harsh. Like, it's really not that horrible, but it is a negative asset based on the current situation. It kind of is what it is there. Shamshay deserves his own tier. I guess once we have some more evidence there. You think Jonte Porter was better than Ochai Agbaji? It's different. Yeah, I was recording that. You guys kind of pick up on that. We killed 2 birds with 1 stone with those, you know? Let's see. Now I'm going back through. Don't worry. I go back through the comments. I don't think Kelly Olynyk is bad yet. I'm not going to go that far just yet. Because he did some really good things for the Raptors at the end of the last season. Like some good things. Wasn't phenomenal, but he was good, and it warranted an extension. So that's where I'm at with Kelly. I recognize the Olympics. My guy didn't look good at all. Looked really bad. So there is my slight concern, but I'm not prepared to count him out completely as of yet. Ochai Agbaji, yeah, he kind of stunk in Summer League. I'm concerned. What Ochai Agbaji brings that the Raptors seriously lack, though, is defense on the wings. He's not like an elite one, but he's a good one. The Raptors don't have a lot of wing defenders. He is a wing defender. He's switchable. If he can please knock down like somewhere close to efficient this season, he'll be a decent player, and he'll get another year with the Raptors. I don't think he's really bad. Offensively, he might be. Defensively, he definitely isn't. Definitely isn't. Olynyk, we should not have him even last year. Olynyk was fine last year. Let's not go too far with this. Numbers aren't exactly everything. I don't even know what the numbers are going to look like. Let's take our first peek together. But I thought he was fine. Yeah, 12.7 points, 55% from the field, 34% from three. That certainly can step up a little bit. That was down compared to the rest of his career. 5.6 rebounds. Look at that. 4.6 assists is great. He's really developed as a passer and playmaker in the high post. 1.3 steals. Yeah, these are good numbers, man. Like, we're giving him heavy minutes compared to what he's done. Maybe, I mean, not even. This is his output he's had for most of his career. Maybe a bit higher, but Kelly Olynyk is fine. He was good last year. These are good numbers, but obviously, it didn't look good in the Olympics, so we'll see. I get it, boosted numbers because of higher involvement, because the team stunk. I get it, but some of them are still. I mean, so you could say some of the stats are more impressive that he's got no help and he's doing a lot on his own. By the way, I just want to point out this glorious half season when he got traded to Houston down here. I just remember because of fantasy basketball, he all of a sudden became a god in fantasy basketball because he was averaging 19 points a game on very efficient shooting, 8 rebounds, 4 assists per game with Houston. Just ridiculous numbers. I wanted to point that out because I remember that fantasy league season where Olynyk was all of a sudden one of a key asset near the end of the year. Hopefully he comes through. I agree. Hopefully he comes through. Malik Williams. What is Malik Williams up to these days, you think? He unfortunately showcased to the world that he is nowhere near NBA caliber. He was so bad last year. I'm so sorry, but he was so fucking bad for the Raptors last year. A FIBA Europe Cup champion? What is that? FIBA Europe Cup. He's a FIBA Europe Cup champion in 2023. What does this even mean? Who won last year? Who are the past champions? Is this the team? He did play in Poland, and he won a FIBA Europe Cup with this Polish team. And Christ. Do I try to say it? Wow, W and L. Or maybe it's not. It's got like a little, what is that? Will Qualek. I don't know. Yeah, cool. He's not an NBA player. Sorry. Picked up Boogie or Dwight instead of giving minutes to Malik Williams. Well, I guess their thought was Williams was that he's ready to go. He's in game shape, but yeah, I don't know. Was there ever an update on what Jonte's doing? I think Jonte's trying to avoid going to prison, first and foremost. I don't think he's playing basketball. He tried to play in Greece, apparently. He tried. But a judge denied his request to resume his career in Greece. Denied by federal judge. 1 week after the Raptors pleaded guilty. Blah, blah, blah. Judge LaShawn DRC Hall refused to give Porter permission to play for Prometheus BC in the Greek Basketball League and Champions League in Europe. So he had another team lined up, interestingly. Attorneys for Porter had asked Hall to return their client to his passport, allow him to travel to Europe and reside in Greece with his wife and expecting baby. He's got a baby on the way, and he fumbled his fucking NBA career. God damn it, Jonte. What are you doing, Jonte? He had a baby on the way. He could have made money. He could have got a contract this year. Not like a massive one, but like even the worst ones. He could have gotten like $1.5 million this year. Like, if you invest that, that's covering you for a long time. I know inflation's insane. That's you're okay for a little bit. Like, you give me $1.5 million right now. I'm probably good for like to live my current life. I'm probably good for at least 10 years with that. I don't know if he's living lavish or what. My livelihood can be funded by $1 million. Well, tax. Okay. I could probably go close to a decade without doing any work. And he fumbled that in this fucking dumb betting scandal. Now he can't even play abroad either. The request was unopposed by the United States Attorney General of the United States, according to what is that? I don't know what that means. He's scheduled to be sentenced in New York on December 18th. The attorneys wrote a letter. His attorneys wrote a letter that said his overseas plan would not interfere with any of his legal obligations, and that his team was aware he could be called back at a moment's notice for any judicial proceedings. And he would continue his treatment for his gambling addiction overseas. The team was planning to make opportunities available in-person counseling, according to Philly. I feel like every athlete who gets caught in like a gambling scandal is addicted to gambling. I feel like that's the... Now, some of them might and some of them may need help, but I feel like some of them, not all of them do. And I feel like the gambling addiction is used to make it look like almost better on themselves, which is weird. Having a gambling addiction makes it look better that they were frauding the game that they play, but I don't know. Just my thought there. Porter pleaded guilty. So, okay, anyways, he's not allowed to go. It doesn't say why. I guess they don't have to explain why. But he's banned from NBA, could face 3.5 to over 4 years in prison. Damn. Don't bet on the sport you play, especially if you're a professional. Sorry, I was in that article. Not playing for the Guangdong Tigers. Almost played for a Greek team. What is he accused of doing? The betting thing. Yeah. Graf Pino in chat. Welcome to the stream. It's just sad. I don't know. To me, it's not. Just don't bet on the sport you play. And especially don't bet against your own team and own self if you're going to do it. Yeah. I think that's a reasonable thing to ask of a professional athlete. Don't bet on your own games or sport. Honestly, if you're a pro athlete, maybe just don't bet on sports at all. But like, if you do, bet on the NFL, man. Bet on the MLB. Bet on soccer. Don't bet on basketball. Do I think IQ at the end of his career will be better than Fred? Wow. What a great question. Damn. So Fred. Sixth Man of the Year nominee, which won't likely... I mean, it could happen to me one day. NBA champion. All-star. It's tough. Emmanuel Quickly's got quite a bit of a way to go to become an NBA All-Star. Fred has produced some really good scoring seasons. Fred is an incredible defender. Definitely was. If he's lost a step, he's still a very good defender. NBA champ. It'll be tough. It'll be tough to stack up. But Emmanuel Quickly's young. Going to continue to get better. Will he be better? I think he definitely... I mean, obviously, I think he can. Will Emmanuel Quickly ever make an NBA All-Star team? It'll be tough. If RJ Barrett continues like this, Quickly will be the third best player on the Raptors. He's older than RJ Barrett. Does making an All-Star or not mean you're better or worse than Van Vliet is? Another valid question. I'm gonna say probably not, but I really hope so. And I think he can do it. But that is a great question. Very, very good question. We'll see what his ascent is like as a point guard. And speaking of point guards, we got a doozy here. We're going to go through every starting point guard in the NBA projected for the upcoming season and rank them. So you the best is, you the worst is. And for this tier list, it was pretty complicated to come up with what the actual tiers are going to be because I had like average, below average, not good, but it felt weird putting any of these players in a not good tier. All 30 of these players, there's 30, right? Probably. All 30 of these players are good. None of them are at least fine. None of them are bad players. So it felt weird making a bad tier. So the lowest tier that we have here is mid. Now, mid derived from the term average, basically. But mid has taken on its own definition at this point. Mid doesn't mean average. Mid means kind of like acceptably bad. If somebody says it's mid, they didn't really like it. They were pretty neutral about it. So it could be considered average. But I feel like it's taken on a term that's like below average. But mid fits the category, I think, of some of the players that we're going to use today. I think we're going to change around things as we go. But let's just jump into it. Every starter in the NBA. I might move stuff around as we go, I will say. So just, if a guy's not where you want him to be, it's okay. We might move him. Hang on, I'm going to slightly adjust this. Perfect. So, tough one to start. Anthony Simons. I'm going to come back to Anthony Simons. I'm going to come back to Chris Paul, too. Let's start with Ja Morant. I think it's a good place to start. Ja Morant's a star. Not going to call him a superstar right now. I think if he gets a healthy season under his belt and a healthy season where he doesn't flash a firearm on Instagram Live, I think I really like Ja Morant. I might thrust him into superstar, but especially because I think we're going to have quite a few superstars here. For now, I'm going to put him as a star. Keontae George, I like him. A lot of potential. The reality is, in contrast to the rest of the players on this list, he's mid. That could change down the line. I think he's a great young player. He's just on a team that isn't very good, so he's the starting point guard. I mean, I could have used Colin Sexton, but the way it was laid out on ESPN was that he was the point guard, so I used him. He's mid relative to this list, that's for sure. Fred VanVleet, big reason why Houston took a big step up last season. He's still a good defender. Is he good or is he great? I'm going to put him great for now, and I have the option to move him down later, which I will consider. Steph Curry's a bona fide superstar. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on that. De'Aaron Fox, I really like De'Aaron Fox. He's a star. I've said it for a long time. I've said it for a few years now that he's a star. And now everybody else is recognizing it as well. De'Aaron Fox, absolutely a star. on that Sacramento Kings team. D'Angelo Russell, if you know me, you know I'm not a big fan of D'Angelo Russell. He's mid. As far as mid goes, he's mid. Not super efficient. Yeah, he can hit threes, but is a bit of a negative asset in the playoffs. Hard to use him in those settings. That's mid. That's mid right there. I'll put him above Keontae George, though. Malcolm Brogdon, sixth man of the year a year ago, but now we're talking about a starting point guard here. I guess he will be for the Washington Wizards. He's a Wizards point guard, by the way, if anybody didn't know. Is he good? I'll put him good. I might drop him later. Immanuel Quickley. I think Immanuel Quickley is great. I'm going to put him in the great tier. Yeah, I'd take him over him. He's definitely not worse than VanVleet. I'm going to put Immanuel Quickley here. I really like Tyus Jones. Starting point guard might be a bit high for him. Is he mid or is he good? Not a good defender. Gets tons of assists, doesn't turn the ball over, scores. I'll put him good for now with a chance to move him. DeJounte Murray, overrated. I don't really like him, but I don't think he's bad enough that I'm going to call him mid. He is an inefficient scorer. He lives off of a defensive reputation from San Antonio when he's not even that good of a defender anymore. Doesn't bend the defense. Isn't even a fantastic passer. I'm kind of calling him mid. He's better. There's enough there to be just enough to be good. I like Mike Conley. I'd rather have him than D'Angelo Russell and Keontae George. I'll put him there. Good vet, good decision maker. He's perfect for Minnesota right now, where he enables everybody around him to be better. And he does his job really well. I'll say he's good. I'll say he's good. I might move him down later. Luka Doncic is a superstar. Come on. Come on. James Harden's still great. As much as he's older, not as good as he used to be, he's great. Not a star anymore, I don't think, but he's great. Still a very good playmaker. Can still give you 20 a game. And honestly, we might thrust him upwards because he's going to take on a much bigger role this season with no Paul George with the Clippers anymore. Dennis Schroeder. Is it fueled by a bit of Raptors animosity? Potentially. He's mid. Probably shouldn't be a starting point guard, but the Brooklyn Nets are going to be maybe the worst team in the NBA this season, so he's mid. Jamal Murray. Man, some real exposing being done from his Olympic performances. I don't put him up here with these guys. I'll put him great. I don't think he's up here with these guys, though, so I was close, but nah, he ain't with those guys. He's not in that club. Shea's a superstar. Perhaps the best point guard in the league. Perhaps the MVP this upcoming season. But Shea's a superstar. Make no mistake. Terry Rozier. I'll put Scary Terry above mid. But he's on thin ice. Cade. I'm not a big Cade Cunningham fan. I'm really not. But he's better than good. He isn't a star. He's better than good. I'll put him as a great option, but needs to work a little bit more on his efficiency. And I think this is the year to show it. Like, you're healthy now. You got to start showing that efficiency. You got to start showing a little bit more for that Detroit Pistons team. LaMelo Ball, injuries have kind of hurt his case, but he's definitely better than good. He's in the great tier. Tyrese Halliburton's a star. Coming off of an All-NBA season. He started the All-Star game. I know he wasn't getting many minutes at the Olympics, but he's a star man at this point, and he finished last season a bit injured, but still helped his team get to a conference finals. That's a star player in this league, as is Damian Lillard, even with his age. Not going to still... I don't think last year I saw superstar Dame. I saw a star there. He's a star player. He's not up with these guys, though, right now. He took a drop-off last year. At his best, he's up here easily. But I'm not going to quite put him up with the big three right now. Another guy who's close is Trae Young. Perhaps if he played on a better team, he'd be up here. But that might be a hot take. You could say if he was up here, his team would be better. So it's his fault. But he is, he can give you 25 a game. Outrageous passer. Obviously not a good defender, but very good scorer, very good shooter, elite passer. I really like Trae Young, but not enough to put him in the superstar tier. Josh Giddey, I don't like Josh Giddey. Mid. what does he do? Like, what does he do? I don't know. Yeah, it's not much, but I'll put him here. I could have put Kobe White for the Bulls. I don't know who's the technical point guard. Kobe White would have been in good, close to great, but not Josh Giddey. Tyrese Maxey is a star. He's a star. We saw it last year, and he's going to continue to ascend, in my opinion. Definitely a star. Jalen Suggs, probably a starting point guard for the Orlando Magic this season. He's a great defender and can shoot the ball. He's starting to become really valuable. He's better than this. He's the bottom of the great tier, but he's definitely better than top of the good tier. Garland is, ooh. Garland's a tough one. Garland is a tough one. He's coming off of a bad year. Is he great? Would I want Garland as much as I want these guys? I want Garland more than all of good, but less than all of great. He's in the middle. But I think he's the opposite of Suggs. No, but come on. He's coming off. Oh, I can't put him here. I'm going to put him here. I could not put him here. I could not let go of the cursor there. Simons, I feel like we need another tier. I feel like we're missing a tier. We're missing something. We're missing one. This is just where they fit. Yeah. I had to. I just something's not right about this tier list. So we're making our change on the way. They're not quite at this level. He might be actually. I still put him there, but I gotta put Garland down there. Simons also in here for me, right at the top of this. Better than good, not as good as great. That's the tier. Bit of a mouthful, but and honestly, that's where Chris Paul sits as well at his age. Better than good, but you know what? No, he's good. These two are better than good, but not in this great tier. Jalen Brunson is a star. Yeah, that one's easy. Honestly, Drew Holiday's a curious case. I'm thinking here. As much as he's such a fantastic defender, sorry, it's glitching. I'm trying to put him here. Oh, what is going on? Trae Young is staying here. Once that goes, I am going to leave it like this. If I had to order it specifically, if I had to order it, it's kind of glitchy right now. Apologies, but I'd probably put Drew Holiday ahead of Jamal Murray as well. I think this order is about what I'd have it as. Point guard, point guards are the superstars are so difficult to rank there. I don't like Josh Giddey, and at least D'Angelo Russell can shoot threes. I'm gonna move Josh Giddey back. I think that's fair. Keontae George is the worst starting point guard, even though he's good. See, that's the thing. He's good, but he's the worst starting point guard, in my opinion. But he is good, though. I'll leave it like this. This is how we have it. What's wrong? What's right? You got to let me know. Let's go through the chat. I was recording that, so I was in my own little world there. 6:52. I got to go soon. We're going to talk about Malachi Flynn next. Sorry, let's go through all these. Do you think Raptors are a play-in team next year? Unfortunately not. Kyle Lowry becoming a Raptor next season. I think he'd probably be like a one-day contract guy. I don't think Lowry's ever going to come back in a playing sort of role. You may you make a poll for pro tank, anti-tanks undecided. Huh. Yeah, I can do that. Let's do one. So I have some polls already scheduled. I can do one on the channel for Friday. How does that sound? If you had to choose, would you tank this season or go all out to win as many games as possible? I would tank. I don't want to tank right away. This is like the problem. But if I had to choose either all in or all out, I'd be all out. I think halfway through the season, they'll probably decide to tank, but we'll see. DeJounte averaged 21, 9, and 8 with San Antonio. He's a different player. The thing is, he is a different player. Like, he has gotten significantly worse defensively since he was with San Antonio. I don't know why that is. Stat test proves it. Eye test proves it. He just got worse defensively. He doesn't bend the defense. So I think if he's got to play winning ball, I think more of it will be exposed in New Orleans than it was in Atlanta, to be honest. We'll see. But I'm not a big fan of DeJounte Murray, as evidenced there. Garland, he had a rough season, which is why I was kind of scared of putting him up high and great, but he's better than good, right? I think that's where he needed to be. Quickly is the back of the Garland tier. Interesting. Maybe I'm being biased. The good. I think Quickly's great. A near 6 Man of the Year win. Last year he is point guard. He increased his role and got better in an increased role, which is not easy to do. That's usually something that's indicative of a great player when his role scales up and his numbers. Actually, well, some of his efficiency did scale down, to be fair. I think he did enough. And again, maybe some of it's biased, but I think he did enough to warrant his spot. This is with Toronto. This is great. I think. And I think you can only stand to get better. Interesting question would now be, who are the best real point guards? Might be old school, but to me, a real point guard is CP3, Jason Kidd, Stockton, Muggsy. Well, the thing is, these sorts of players don't really, exist in their starting role. Like, the best real point guards, like, would you put, like, Mike Conley into that conversation? Like, what defines a real point guard? Like, you're a good point guard, but you can't shoot threes. Is that what a real I'm serious. Like, Stockton's like the pull-up threat from three. Stockton could shoot. Jason Kidd could shoot. CP3, not a great 3-point shooter, but a fine one. What would define a pure point guard? A real point guard. If they're a real point guard, they're not one of the best players in the NBA because they're too good at something else. You know what I mean? If the Cavs offer you Garland for Quickly, you taking that? I'm not taking that right now. I mean, maybe a year ago, but Garland really not coming off of a fantastic season. I would not take that right now. What's the age difference? Darius Garland is 24. Quickly is 1 year older, 25. Not even a year older. 7 months older. I wouldn't be so sure I'm taking that. Conley fits it, but it's like, if you're really good as a point guard, you're then all of a sudden not a pure point guard or a real point guard because like you're so good at something. So Tyus Jones, I guess, if you want to put him there. In a way, like, James Harden is really becoming a fantastic real point guard because he's not taking as many pull-ups. In a way. Halliburton, I'd say Halliburton, real point. That is your guy. If you're real point guard fan club, I think Tyrese Halliburton is kind of your guy. Drew Holiday as well. Drew Holiday will go down as one of those top real point guards. Drew Holiday. That might be him and I think that might be like your poster boy of the real point guard club at this day and age. 6:58, almost done. Wanted to talk about the guy, Malachi Flynn, back in the NBA. I had some suspicions his NBA career was over, but he has found a home with the San Antonio Spurs. A little confused by this one, quite honestly. 1-year deal with the Spurs. I actually would like to see if it's fully guaranteed, because they just signed Chris Paul. They just drafted Stephon Castle. They still have Trey Jones. Why did they sign Malachi Flynn? Is it just a case of let's see what we can do with his development for a year? But, like, my guy's already 26. Oh, we don't have any confirmation on guarantees. Signed with a minimum. Look, congrats to him. I'm not in the boat of, like, rooting for him to succeed. I guess, you know, I don't want anybody to do bad, but I really don't. I just don't really care how he does with San Antonio. I want all the dogs to eat, but not all of them eat, unfortunately. We'll see. Sohan Flynn minutes going to go crazy. Wouldn't. I don't know if I'd say that. I don't know how much he's going to play. Chris Paul's going to start. I think Chris Paul is a great mentor for Stephon Castle. Trey Jones is good and still going to play. Malachi Flynn's not better than Trey Jones. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Assuming Matt Thomas, yeah, he didn't be at this point. That would be correct. Last time I checked, Matt Thomas was playing for Panathinaikos in Greece. But let's see what he's up to now. He's playing for Alba Berlin in the German Basketball Bundesliga. Hey, man, I always try to defend guys who play abroad. Just because you don't succeed in the NBA doesn't mean you can't succeed playing abroad. He's like it's... You still make good money. You still have a great career, even if you're playing in Europe. He's played for two great franchises. Panathinaikos is a big organization, if you haven't heard of them. Actually, funny enough, it's hung up high up my wall. I have a Panathinaikos basketball scarf that I bought in Greece. Shout out Matt Thomas. But now he's playing for Alba Berlin. Good for him. He's a Euro Cup champion in 2019 with Valencia. Great for him. A Spanish League 3-point contest champion. You know, he's 30 years old. He's played pro ball for the better part of a decade. My guy's still playing ball, right? Killian Hayes or Malachi Flynn? I feel like Malachi Flynn is a more assured of you know what you're going to get, right? If I could do any of the sports I love and make a decent living, I'd be all over it. Exactly. So we love to see the guys eat abroad. Shout out Bruno Caboclo, has made a legendary career almost playing in Brazil and Germany. He's become a great player. 2 years away from being 2 years away. Well, we ain't 2 years away. He's there. He's there now. All right, guys, 7 o'clock. I got some plans after this. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the stream today. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you do hit that like button. As a reminder, I am away on from Thursday onwards. I'm going to Chicago. Unfortunately, will not be able to make a venture out to Gary, Indiana. Perhaps one day I will see my beloved destination. I actually would be very dangerous, I think, to go, from what I've heard. So not going to Gary, Indiana, even though it will be a stone's throw away. I'm going to be in Chicago. The Blue Jays are visiting the Cubs this weekend. I have tickets to 2 games at Wrigley Field. Wrigley Field is a real bucket list stadium, you know. I'm really pumped. There's very few, not very few. There's a few, not too many North American stadiums on my bucket list. Wrigley Field is one of them. So I'm very excited for that. So I'm going to be in Chicago from Thursday to Sunday, and I'll be back on Monday with content. No stream on Thursday. Obviously, I'll be in Chicago. Friday video, like I said, usually I will go out of my way to prep a video in advance. But, like, honest to God, they're just... Some days I just don't know what to do for a video because there isn't much. I have something ready for tomorrow, but not going to go out of my way to get a video done in advance. So there will be a bit of a gap in content. Next video will be out tomorrow. The one after that will be on Monday, which is when we will be pretty much back to normal on content. So thank you again, everybody. What's going on, Isaac? It does sound pretty good, I got to say. So appreciate you stopping in, and thank you for the well wishes. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you all have a great rest of your week. I'll be back talking to you in 1 week time on Tuesday, but hopefully you watch the video.